Hi everyone, welcome to another Christmas cheer tutorial. This time we're going to be doing the origami boxes, and there are a few of those in this book and all kinds of fun activities. This is one of the pages. There are 4 in each book, and I've pulled out the one that we're going to look at. And so each page has the outside of the box that you can color in, and then you can also color in the inside, which is kind of like the lining of the box. They're pretty simple patterns. So this is the page that we're going to look at today. I've already colored it in. I did this in pencils. And in the video of the gift tags, I showed how I was using little bits of pencil, very similar to these, just little ones to use them up. And I actually ran out of one of the yellows I was using and the tip kept breaking, so I couldn't find a matching one. So I had to mix it up a little bit. If you look closely, some of the yellows and reds are not perfect matches. But, you know, that's the fun of doing these crafts, and, you know, it all depends on how professional you want it to look in the end. But I wanted to point out something, and I didn't really think of this as I was creating the book. I just did like a full page pattern, which, you know, may be fun to color in, but you don't actually need the whole page, because these corners are going to be cut out, and then these, sorry, this is not going to be cut out. These corners are going to be cut out, and then these squares are the flaps that are going to be taped over. So really, the back of these sections don't need to be colored. By the way, feel free to use the corner of your page, you know, to test out the pencils or markers that you want to use, because that's going to be cut out anyway. So what I did was I only colored in where, you know, the outside of the box is actually going to be. I kind of looked, you know, held up my page to the light and drew a faint pencil lines. You can do that if you don't want to, you know, color the sections that aren't actually going to be used, or if you just enjoy coloring. If you want to go ahead and color the whole page, and then maybe you can actually do something, you know, with the little squares that you're going to cut out. It's up to you. I was a little economical with my time, and I only colored in the hearts that are actually going to show. Okay, so let's look at how to do this. First of all, we need to cut along the lines. After you take out the page, you could use a paper cutter. I'm going to go ahead, sorry, I have to look at my phone while I do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut right in here, because these corners are going to get cut off. Okay, so cut along the dotted line. And I'm going to come in here. Don't worry about being super precise unless that's something you really like. But the box will work even if your lines are slightly wonky. Okay. Now, you're also going to cut here along these solid lines. And you'll notice one of the things I did as I was coloring was I went slightly beyond the dotted lines or the solid lines, because I thought when I fold those flaps in, I don't want to have a bit of white along the edge, just to have color go right to the edge. You don't have to do that, but I thought that might just give a bit of a cleaner look once this is folded. So cut along there. So wherever you have a solid line, you're going to cut, And where we have a dotted line, you're going to fold. So one more. Okay. So now it's probably easier if you flip this over. And I'm just going to go back to the instructions. So you'll see it shows now to fold wherever there's a dotted line. Fold here. And here. There's a lot of folding on this one actually. I'm going to fold here. Pretty much wherever there's a joint, let's say, wherever two sections meet each other, all of that needs to be folded. Oops, that's a little bit off on that one. Try to match the dotted lines as well as you can. Fold that in. Okay, another fold here. Another fold here. So just look for those dotted lines. And one more here. This is the flap that's going to go inside your box. Okay. So all been folded up. Now I like to use glue tape or like a glue runner. You could use glue stick, you could use double-sided tape. Basically, wherever it says tape or glue here, I would maybe go along the edges like that. I recommend doing all the glue first before you start folding. Before you start assembling. Okay, so what you want to do is I would do one side at a time. So fold this side up, and then you're going to try to match these corners as well as you can. Okay, and just press that well. You see? I just realized I should have colored that in because that's not getting hidden. This is getting hidden. So we just learned something together. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Go ahead and color the whole page. I miscalculated that. So I apologize for that, but I guess I can go back in and color it, but this is just my sample. So here's a good example of what not to do. All right, yeah, so this is all going to get hidden by these flaps. But yeah, so that shows me for trying to cut corners and it didn't work. So yeah, don't do that. Don't cut corners, just color all of the inside. It's going to work out much better. Okay, so you see those 4 flaps fit in really nicely there. I just press them and then you tuck in the flap. And that's it. You may want to write on that before you actually assemble the box. Now, if you really wanted to, you would lose this if you put some tape there to close it, but and I wouldn't recommend that because it'll probably rip when someone opens it. You can even have the flap on the outside if you really wanted to. That's kind of cute too. And then just take some ribbon and wrap it around, or put, you know, maybe a little sticker. If you put the flap in, you can maybe put a little sticker or a little piece of tape there, or, you know, just leave it like that. It's very cute. So you've got designs on all the sides, and that's your box. And yeah, color in all of the inside. All right, thanks. And I'd love to see pictures if you do any of these crafts. If you share them on social media, please tag me. On Instagram, you can tag at Ann-Margret, or join my Facebook group. All that information, if you go to my website, is all there. All right, thanks.